Maryland at UCLA. I hope that's showing up because it's not showing up on mine. Okay, excellent. Maryland is facing off against UCLA here, and UCLA has been a bit weird. They played Ohio State tough. They really gave them a good game, and then after that, they went out and lost to CS Northridge. I could not tell you where CS Northridge is. I can't tell you who their mascot is. They have a logo on the CBS app, so that's good. Typically, if they don't have a logo, that's really bad. But still, losing to them 76-72. I didn't get a chance to watch that game, but I watched some of the highlights. In UCLA, they are just offensively deficient. They don't have the offensive players that they quite need. But Maryland is playing some better basketball now than they once were. At the start of the season, they were losing quite a bit, and they lost to Indiana, but in their last 7 games, they're 6-1. So that is good. Not great competition in those 6 games, but definitely somewhere where you want to be. Kent, what are some of your thoughts going into the Maryland and UCLA game?
Yeah, based on the last week, just a couple bad teams facing off because you mentioned the UCLA game. What was it? I think last night, but Maryland was struggling with Nicholls State last night. Yep. They borderline. I feel like they got outplayed in that game, to be honest.
Oh, they did.
They let Nicholls State come into their house and kind of push them around, and that's pretty embarrassing, man. You can't have that happen. So I mean, talk about a throw your hands up game. I have no idea who's going to win this game or what's going to happen because you have a Maryland team that I think is relying too much on Julian Reese to be a guy, and he's just not that. He's a good role player, and it's just. Everything you said about Maryland is already true. Offensive deficiencies across the board, it just feels like. And to me, it just seems like it's more of a passion thing. It doesn't seem like they're ready for any game, and they're just not excited to be playing basketball right now. I don't know what it is, but I'd like to see some more fire from them in this UCLA game, maybe turn things around a little bit. This could be a good boost for them. I'd like to see them win this game, and it kind of propel them into some more wins entering the Big Ten play.
Oh yeah, at the beginning of the year, they were thought of as going to be a top half, possibly top 4 team in the conference. Yeah. You had Jahmir Young, you have Julian Reese, you have the star freshman Harris Smith, I think is his name. There's so many freshmen, I get their names mixed up. But anyway, he was coming in. He was supposed to be a big help for their offense, take some of the weight off of Jahmir Young, and it's just not turned into that, and this Maryland team hasn't looked great. I kind of put it more on Kevin Willard, or Willard. I put it a little bit more on him. I see what you're saying, Kent, that the guys aren't exactly up for every single game, but to me, that goes back to coaching. Why aren't your players getting up for these games? Why are your players not giving what looks like max effort? And you've had an offensive issue all season long. They scored 40 points against Villanova. Villanova's not a good team. I know Villanova was thought of at the beginning as a good team. They've lost some bad games. Maybe an average team at best. I don't think Villanova is a good team, and you can't score only 40 points on them. So I have concerns about this Maryland team. I'd like to think that they win. I will probably pick them to win ultimately because of some of UCLA's deficiencies. However, I'm not super confident in that. Chris, what are some of your thoughts?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't pick Maryland just because they're going on the road. They're 0-2 on the road this season. And, they've just lost some abysmal games. They lost to 110th ranked Davidson and 174th ranked UAB. Those are KenPom numbers. And, and Nicholls was 261 in KenPom, and they only won by 6. Purdue had that a few years ago where they played Nicholls and gave up 90 points. We still won, but that was kind of the beginning of hey, our defense kind of sucks this year. It was Jaden Ivey's kind of breakout year. Mm-hmm. And it was kind of hey, offense is not good. We should probably fix that. And this is kind of another one of those things. They rank, they're 168th most efficient offense in the country. That's just bad. And while their defense is good, they're 23rd in defense, but if you're not putting buckets in the basket, your defense is going to get ran into the ground. And I'm not saying that UCLA is going to, light them up because they're only 150. Almost UCLA and Maryland are almost identical when it comes to offensive and defensive efficiency. I think
they both played at Villanova, just as a common opponent at this point. I don't know if that matters as much in basketball because every game is so different. But UCLA only lost by 10. I didn't see that game. I don't know if that was like a comeback. We're down by 20. Yeah. But I do know that Maryland was down by like almost 40, right? At one point.
Yeah.
And then ended up losing and made it look respectable by 17. That was not a 17-point game.
No.
So if you just look at that one game.
By 17.
Yeah. It's just, I just don't see, because I think they're just trying to lean on, like you said, Reese too much and Jahmir Young way too much. Like, I think they're trying to put all their eggs in those two baskets, and it's just coming apart at the seams because nobody else is doing anything worth the dang.
Yeah, for sure. So it's definitely not a good situation for Maryland. We haven't talked about them much just because, there's not been many great games to talk about them with, but I'm excited that we get to talk about them a little bit now.
Thanks for listening to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out. Get in the chat. Let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.